morning, Spa. We have Jamie Arseneau here, and he's the Vancouver chapter leader of DRIME. Jamie, why don't you tell those who maybe are watching, they don't really know what DRIME's all about. What is DRIME?
DRIME exists in a threefold purpose. So first of all, we exist to help people discover Christ through choreographed street drama. So we do dramas set to music, so there's no words in them, that portray the message of the gospel in different ways. We kind of have 8 dramas. And we do them on the streets, and so people are drawn in by what's happening, and we get the chance to talk to people, to talk to these people that stop and watch and just hear about their lives, just talk to them, pour into them, share the gospel in different ways to them, however the Spirit's leading us. Second of all, we exist to empower others for ministry as well. So we don't want to keep this tool to ourselves. We don't want to just DRIME be DRIME and no one else can use this. We want to train youth groups, we want to train missions teams, we want to train churches in using this tool as well and give them a chance to use this tool in their circles of influence as well, and then themselves train others too. So we kind of have this training structure that we love to just give our tool away as well. And thirdly, we exist to inspire passionate discipled leaders through community.
Now, you guys were just out east, so why don't you tell us a little about where you went? And there's a great, neat story about one of the particular places that you went. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we went out east, so eastern Canada, not farther than that, to Ontario and Quebec. So more specifically, Toronto, Kingston, and Montreal. And in Montreal, originally we were just going to go there to see the city, to try out this tool on the streets, see if it works, see if it connects with people, try to connect with some pastors and see if we could train them. But didn't really have too much of a solid schedule there, but God opened so many doors there. So what had happened was there was this man that called us out of the blue one day and was like, DRIME needs to be in Montreal. And we were like, okay, sure, like that sounds awesome. But hearing the story now, what had happened was he just was hanging out one day and God put this just massive burden and this stirring in his heart. And so he got involved with Power to Change, which is kind of our umbrella organization. And through Power to Change, heard of DRIME, and the second he heard of this ministry, he was like, that is what Montreal needs. He's like, that is what God is wanting to bring here. That is what God is wanting to do here. And so he was daily, he said he was putting 2 hours of work to DRIME every day. He was going to pastors, going to churches, and just telling them that we're coming, setting up workshops so that we could train some of their church members in the tool, setting up places that we could go and just connections in it. So it was incredible to see just everything God had ordained and God had put together for us there.
Now there's another story we were talking before, and there's another story of just kind of how God used this tool on the streets, and it didn't even necessarily involve talking.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we were partnered with a church called Église Roi des Croix. This man named Miguel walks around, sees us performing the drama, stays for a while, sees his coworker. So the pastor of the church is actually a coworker. They work in a construction business together. Sees him, but Michel, confusing. Michel is the pastor. Michel is in a conversation, and so he didn't actually get a chance to talk to anyone, but he was just really struck by what he saw. So Miguel went into Michel's office the next day and just started asking all these questions. He just couldn't get this image of the man in white out of his head. Just asked all these questions. What was that drama about? What was Jesus doing there? What was the man in white? How did this character, that character was transformed and Jesus healed, and just, so he was able to share the gospel with Miguel, and they talked for like 2 hours. And so this man ended up leaving his office being like, God and I are going to have a very important conversation tonight. So it was just super exciting to see what God does through a visual image of the gospel.
So how can we pray for you as a church and as individuals? How can we lift you up in prayer, and how can we live this ministry up in prayer?
Yeah, thank you for praying, first of all. It means the world to have the support of you guys just backing me, and it's I love it. I couldn't do it without you guys. And a few ways that you could pray for me would be, or this ministry in general would be, just to lift up Montreal as well. We're not necessarily sure on the timing that we're going to go back and maybe start an official team, but there are some leaders that are still, they've kind of decided to meet together regularly and train themselves in the dramas, and pray for our DRIME Toronto and DRIME Kingston teams as well, as they do ministry, as they pour out. And then for me specifically, I'm entering a season where they want me to come on more hours with DRIME, so I'm doing a big support raising push. So I would really appreciate your prayers in that, and just as well, I'm going to Togo in August. So August 7th to 27th, I'll be leading a team in Togo, so we'll be visiting the Togo teams. There's 2 teams in Togo. We'll be visiting them, encouraging them, doing more training with them. So praying for the preparation process of that and just for safety as we travel and just, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, and we love seeing how God's using you, not just here, but out east and Africa and around the world, and seeing your journey. So we're excited to partner with you.
Thank you.
So God bless you.